Yo, in today's video, we'll be looking at creepy and woke TikToks that will make you question everything.
NFL scripted. Rodgers came back up limping, then shook his head. Then he went down. But why did he shake his head like that?
New this year, and after spending 3 years with the Rams, the former first-round pick of the Bears, and now...
Hey, he looked at them, they said, they did one of these. You know what I'm saying? They did some hand signals to my boy. He said, dang, guess I gotta sit down. Thought I was gonna at least score a touchdown or get a completion today. Let's watch it again, y'all. Look at his face. He said, no. They said, bruh, you better do it. He like, no, I'm not going down. They said, go down or it's a wrap.
Former first-round pick of the Bears, and now Rodgers sits down.
There was always something fishy about this game, right? For one, you got Aaron Rodgers going to the New York Jets. Now, the mascot for the New York Jets is just crazy in itself. But they played on 9/11, right? The New York Jets playing on 9/11. It's one of the biggest headlines out there. You got Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest quarterbacks, playing for the New York Jets, right? For the first time. And then he gets hurt. I don't know, y'all. I'm just throwing that out there. But I do hope that Aaron Rodgers does get better if he is actually hurt. You know, Achilles tendon is nothing to play with.
Mars was the original planet that humans were from.
Okay.
And then something happened that we all had to fly to another planet and live on. So there used to be like civilization that lived on Mars.
But now it's all dried up, right?
That's all dried up.
Nuclear war.
On Mars, there's an element on the periodic table called xenon. Now, xenon on Earth is only found, this is crazy, is only found after a nuclear explosion.
No.
Oh shit, that's not even the skip mode button.
I said no.
What'd I say, y'all?
What the hell?
Yeah, so theory, and it goes hand in hand now. What if on Mars there was a nuclear warfare, destroyed the whole planet, but people were able to escape just in time, landed on Earth, and they had to restart from nothing.
So we are the aliens.
We're the aliens.
What the hell? No, that's kind of weird. But that makes sense also.
Because that's how low-key the Earth would end up looking like if we did have
if something happened like that. Yeah.
No, but this is like real proof. Like this is search it up.
Yeah.
It's real shit.
Man, what y'all think? Y'all think we from Mars?
People don't know what's really happening in Saudi Arabia and how this could end badly.
A city dubbed The Line.
So the mastermind behind all of this is a young crown prince who's had a controversial rise to power. So Saudi Arabia has had a difficult and complex history, but everything changed once they found the Gavar oil fields, the largest single source of human energy that we as a species have ever discovered. And so overnight, they went from a struggling nation to one with basically unlimited wealth. So Saudi Arabia produces about 10.3 million barrels of oil per day. And their relatively small population of about 37 million allows them to export basically all of this, mainly to Eastern countries like China, Japan, and South Korea. What's crazy is that the US actually produces more oil than Saudi Arabia. The difference is the population is about 10 times bigger, so they have to use it internally. All right, so what's the deal with Neom and the Line? Basically, it would be the most expensive man-made object ever created at $350 billion. The closest thing we have is the International Space Station, which was about 150. It's literally just a 110-mile long building in the middle of the Saudi Arabian desert. It's supposed to be the city of the future that could house around 9 million people. And of course, there's their soccer league, where at this point, they're just investing billions of dollars into these big names in hopes of creating the next big soccer league. We again saw something similar with the 2004 Chinese Super League, which has recently just started to implode. So what Saudi Arabia is trying to do actually makes a lot of sense, with 42% of their GDP coming just from oil. Their ultimate goal is that if oil prices drop again like they did in 2020, that they'll be diversified enough that their economy will be okay. So the Crown Prince has been a proponent of peace so far, making peace with Yemen, Iran, and Syria. But they have done some things to make people question whose side they're really on. And when your main export is oil, war can be very good for business.
So my question is, right, what about all of the countries, continents south of the hemisphere, right? Down here in the southern half. They never talk about that. Where they get the oil from? Do they even have oil? What's going on down there? I don't even know.
The movie Sound of Freedom is a huge psyop to get people to take the mark of the beast. And I'm about to tell you why. So we know in the book of Revelation it tells us they will cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell unless they have the mark.
Yo, this is bringing back some crazy memories. There was a video I watched probably some years ago. It was a low quality video, but it looked like it was in another country, like a very poor country. And these people were saying how they would come up, like Americans would come up and snatch people out of their houses. And I say Americans, but it could have been somebody else. Snatch people out their house and implant them with this little plant, the mark of the beast. They either put it in their head or in their hand. Crazy stuff. I don't know how true the video was, but it makes you think.
Now we also know that this technology is trending right now. The microchip implants that let you pay with your hand. Now, if you didn't know, this movie is about human trafficking. And this movie was literally all over the media, which means they wanted people to see it. And they literally got millions of people to go see this movie. So now what they've done is they've addressed the problem, the one that they created in the first place. And lo and behold, look what I found. This is literally a government website evaluating the use of RFID technology, which is those chips, to prevent and investigate sexual assaults. Or in other words, human trafficking. Here's another one from the Department of Homeland Security. It's about RFID chips. And what's the first thing that they have? Human trafficking. This gives them perfect reasoning to want to put RFID chips in every single person, especially kids. Why is this so dangerous? The Bible tells us that whoever receives the mark, the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they had no rest day or night, who worship the beast in his image, and whoever receiveth the mark of his name. In other words, they go to hell. So this is just a reminder. Everything they're putting in your face, like this movie, or anything, there's always a deeper meaning to everything they want you to see. God bless you guys. Don't forget to like and follow for more truth, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yo, would y'all take it? No. This is literally the world right now. Wow. Sheeple. Brands. Loves love them brands. Okay, now this is gonna be crazy, the metaverse for sure. Is that OnlyFans? Clout chaser. It's crazy because this is literally how the world is right now. People are crazy, they don't even know it. Yo, it's crazy how much that is the real world.
Nickelodeon, the word itself. You know what it actually means? Baghdad. What the does Nickelodeon mean? That's what it means in Latin. No, it's So no. Okay. Nickelodeon in Latin, translated to English, Nickelodeon means I don't care about God. No.
No way. How they find that out? Diddy groomed Bieber just like he did Usher. Ooh.
As soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this will be yours. So every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but you know.
Showing them the Lambo and stuff.
Man.
Minute.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down and you gotta, you know, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
No.
All right, 16.
You're not ready.
16.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down, Justin.
Okay.
Let's slow down. Okay.
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours. When you know, when you you get 16, you good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion.
Yeah.
So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
We just, so check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you wanna do? What you wanna do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang with some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about, kid.
1 year later.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right,
doing?
young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh?
No,
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you haven't. I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right,
My
okay.
number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
Yo, he did the same thing with Fabulous. Y'all remember that Fabulous interview? He's like, why we don't party no more, Fab? No, me and you. And Fab just like, gee, chill. Same thing here. He like, why you don't call me no more, Beebs? Beebs like, take my number. You know what I'm saying? Like he put on the spot right then and there. But it's all type of crazy stuff going on with Diddy. You know, all you gotta do is Google it and you probably go down a crazy rabbit hole.
So they spotted a zombie controlled truck. And by the way, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Oh,
Everything
snap.
that you about to see is fake. So let's look at this truck right here. Read the back. Zombie outbreak response team.
Okay, I will say though, I see like Jeep Wranglers outfitted like this all the time. I see SUVs outfitted like this all the time. It's these people who have this weird fascination with thinking that there's going to be a zombie apocalypse. That's what I used to think. They probably were just way ahead of the game because you got CDC and all these other people putting out, you know, zombie apocalypse warnings. So clearly something might about to be happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I might have to get me a zombie apocalypse truck as well.
Y'all remember this video right here? Yeah, I think that y'all should go and watch this video. Yeah, that zombie preparedness pandemic, yeah, that the CDC they came out with and how they was telling you how to get prepared for this zombie apocalypse that's about to happen. I think that we all are very entertained with this one. Aren't we all just entertained how they have zombie outbreak trucks already? That shit clean. Once again, everything that y'all just seen was for entertainment. It's all fake. Let me know what y'all think about the zombie outbreak truck being seen on the highway in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned.
Is y'all ready for this zombie apocalypse that's gonna be coming?
What if I told you it's a 90% chance that you could be a chosen person on this planet? Would you believe me? It was a time when we had to go to the elders for answers about life and answers about the universe. Now we are going to the youth because the older souls are now returning. There are so many people that's actually waiting for the Anunnaki to actually come back to save them. I want to say this to the people. If you sit around and wait for these aliens to come and save you, there's no difference than religion people waiting for Christ to come back and save you. We save ourselves. When the Anunnaki came here, they created some of us, not all of us. There's a big difference because some of us are really chosen ones and some of us was made in laboratories. If you look at that bucket that Anunnaki is carrying, they are planting seeds. It's a lot of people.
So there's all type of views on that bucket that he's talking about, because you can see it everywhere, right? You see it with those Anunnaki statues, but you can also see it in Mesoamerica with Quetzalcoatl, and you'll see that they have them there, and they're also holding it. So literally anywhere you go, you're going to see this. I don't know exactly what it is. You know, some people were saying it's a battery pack or something, you know, to where you hold it and then you hold your ankh, or, you know, can't even think of the name of it. But you hold it and you're like charged up, you know what I'm saying? And that's why they say like Osiris turned green. I don't know. It's all type of stuff that goes along with it. You know, I don't think there's a true definite answer right now that anyone knows, but you know, you can make your own assumption, I guess.
People on this planet that don't have spirits and they don't have souls. They are just empty vessels to take up space. But some of us come from higher dimensions to make sure this dimension don't be destroyed. There's a book on this planet called the Voynich Manuscript. This book is explaining life and explaining the past and the future, but no one on this planet can read this book. They say this book was actually written by angels. The angels came here and told everyone what was going to happen, and they explained that we actually came from plants. We was from the soil, now we manifest into walking trees. I would suggest that you Google this book, the Voynich Manuscript, and try to understand what are they trying to say to us. These Anunnaki went from planet to planet, planting seeds. This is why Earth is called a plant. It's really a big ass seed. Even with the Adam and Eve story, when they say Eve ate the apple, then Adam ate the apple was really talking about seeds, or a woman giving birth, because when we had children, we called our children our seeds. The universe gives birth to all kind of life, and we are giving birth to all kind of life because we are the universe. But we are getting to a point where things are about to stop manifesting. And this is why Bill Gates and all the other weirdos are now removing the seeds from all kind of fruit. If you remove the seeds from the fruit, you will remove the seeds from us, and we will stop manifesting or creating children. The reason why so many people can't wake up and understand this knowledge about seeds and manifesting things is because Earth goes through a process. Earth resets every 5,000 years. Everything in the universe have a natural cycle. We have cycles, the seasons have cycles, and so do Earth. So we're about to go through this 5,000 years where everything about to be wiped out, and it's gonna start all over again. Some of us get a little bit of knowledge and information, and they want to debate about who's smarter. Did you know our true purpose was to leave this Earth and go back to the sun? That's how we really evolve.
I mean, he dropping some gems right there, no lie.
This for entertainment purposes only. Have y'all seen this Trump float? Pay attention to all the symbolism on it. That's definitely Roman. All these eagles, that's Roman. Roman and Greece. Number two, why is they having a parade about you in Italy?
Because he's Julius Caesar, reincarnated.
Look at the bottom of the sword. Yeah, look at that. Y'all see that? And then that definitely looks like some Russian shit.
Them was some Twitter birds on the sword.
Let's go back to it. That definitely looks like some Russian shit on his shoulder. And the whole giddy up looks like a big ass beast. I don't know, Trump dog, but I got some questions about the symbolism that was on your float. It's some questions that's very questionable. Let me know what y'all think about this Trump float in Italy in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom, and stay tuned.
Look, I need to see who created the float and the idea and ask them.
Because the U.S.
They
decided to use depleted uranium against the Iraqi people, they're still...
So ain't nobody gonna talk about how SpongeBob literally told us he was gonna play with the uranium bombs. Watch this.
F is for fire that burns down the whole town. Use for uranium.
Who?
Wow.
Yeah, bro. No survivors. Bro. I can't make it up. I can't make it up. Propaganda.
Crazy.
Reading made every single one of my hairs on my body stand up, and I felt like I needed to tell y'all this and show y'all this. So y'all probably already heard about the Libya flood that's going on right now, right? So this flood caused entire neighborhoods to wash into the sea. Tall buildings fell into the mud, trapping residents under rubble. At least 5,200 people have died and thousands more are missing. Right? Yo, it's getting crazy out here for real.
Dang, it's a lot of people.
So 10,000 people are reportedly missing, right? But there's different numbers of how many people are dead. Right here it says 2,000. Then it says a local television estimated about 5,000, right? Look, bodies are lying everywhere, in the sea, in the valleys, under buildings. 25% of the city is gone. 25%.
Just imagine that.
Look at this impact right there. Wow. Bodies are now washing ashore. So some of the missing people, they're resurfacing. Now here it says they have counted 5,300 dead so far. God bless them. Y'all think that's bad? More than 30,000 people have nowhere to go. They have no homes. They're claiming the destruction was caused by Storm Daniel. But watch what I'm about to show y'all. Look what it says. Burner suffered the most damage after 2 dams collapsed, washing entire neighborhoods into the churning sea. This is biblical. What just happened, what I just showed y'all, that flood was biblical. Y'all remember that great flood in the Bible? Check this out. So guess what happened in May? 6 Libyans faced death penalty for converting to Christianity. Alright, so this part right here, I'm about to show you, is going to be the most important part. This last paragraph, I'm going to give you a few seconds to read that.
Let's pause it real quick. Let's pause it. We're going to read it together, y'all. She said the last paragraph, right? The 6 Libyans have been charged under Article 207 of the Penal Code, which punishes any attempt to circulate views that aim to alter fundamental constitutional principles or the fundamental structures of the social order or overthrow the state, and anyone who possesses books, leaflets, drawings, slogans, or any other items that promote their cause. All right.
This is why they were arrested, right? These Libyans, where there's now a catastrophic flood. Look what it says. The ISA said in a statement that the arrests were to stop an organized gang action aiming to solicit and to make people leave Islam. Oh, look it. A lawyer for one of the detainees said their families discovered they had been arrested when videos of their confessions were posted online by ISA. So the families didn't even know about the arrest of these 6 Libyans because they were unaware until a video was posted by the ISA of their confessions. Now it says, his face unclear in this video. Maddie said I was born in 1977 and I was arrested by the Internal Security Unit for converting to Christianity. I joined a group of Libyans and foreigners inside Libya calling and circulating for Christianity. This is all because of them converting. Look. And guess what? God done sent a flood to Libya now. Yeah, my hairs are standing up as I speak for not allowing Christianity. Y'all remember that great flood. Y'all remember that. Let me just say karma and the wrath of God is real. Just remember this right here. This is why they're in a flood right now.
Hold on. I seen something on there. They were supported by the Melinda and who y'all know the name Foundation, right? But I will say this, right? And religion's such a touchy subject. That's all I'm gonna say. Back in the day, they used to throw Christians in the pit with the tigers, like Gladiator, the movie Gladiator, some stuff like that. So, man, it's wild. But whatever happened in Libya, aside from all the religious stuff, it's just devastating, and I feel bad for that whole area and all those people. I couldn't even imagine that happening here. Wipe away 25% of your whole city. Somebody is gone. Somebody.
We're dealing with intelligences, guys. That could be 1,000,000 years ahead of us in terms of technology.
Disclosure cannot happen right now because people aren't ready, and there is no way to lift up Pandora's box just a little bit. Yeah. Because once you crack Pandora's box, all hell breaks loose. You can't tell just a little bit of the story, because if you start telling even a little bit, then you're going to have a time bomb on your hands, because everybody is going to want to know more.
The extraterrestrial reality, as I have said, and will continue to say till the day I die, is the greatest story in human history. And it must be told. Eventually it will be told. But I don't anticipate living to see it. I have often thought that it may take another 50 years. When I first began, I had no idea what I was getting into.
I wonder when this video was made, because he said it may take 50 years. Are we approaching that 50-year mark? You know, I don't know how old this video is. It looks pretty old, but, you know, we have all of this disclosure and, you know, they putting stuff in movies and trying to get us ready. You got the Mexican government, you know, being shown little ETs that look literally like ET. So we might be approaching that 50-year mark, or, you know, if he's still here, he might be able to see it. I don't know.
I learned years and years ago that this was real, that the government knew it was real, and the government was sitting on top of it. But when I was in the infantry, or in the military, I was at Reshape headquarters in Paris. I had a cosmic top secret clearance. I couldn't talk about it. I simply dedicated my life to finding out what it was really all about. When I left the military, we knew of 4 different groups, and one of those groups looked exactly like we do.
Okay, so I'm sorry, y'all. I did say earlier if he's still here, but clearly it says right there in the title, the late U.S. Army Major Robert Dean. So R.I.P. to him.
They were all humanoid, but one was not literally, totally human. I got so damn sick and tired of arguing with skeptics who have never bothered to do their homework. These guys are still living in the 19th century, many of them. And it's like I mentioned to you before, I think a lot of it is that there's a deep-seated fear that if this is really true, what's that going to mean to my view of the world? Well, it's going to mean your view of the world is going to collapse around your damn ears. Right. The skeptics say, you can't keep secrets. The government can't keep... Well, the hell they can't. They have done it from the beginning. How do you tell people that JFK, poor guy, was bumped off as a result of a conspiracy? It's easy to lie to the American people because they really don't do their homework. As long as you keep them entertained, they're happy. It's part of the national security state, and it's based upon, frankly, I think, the reality of the extraterrestrial presence, which the government today will not even begin to admit, will not even begin to address, because as I jokingly told you before, if you open Pandora's box just a tiny bit, the lid's going to fly off, and then all hell, you know. And they don't want that. Because when that happens, when that reality impacts the average individual on this planet, not just the American people, but the whole human species on this planet, when that reality impacts them, nothing will ever be the same. It's impossible to address the reality of the extraterrestrial presence unless you've studied history. Because they have been with us for several thousands of years. And history is filled with it. It really isn't about so-called UFOs. It isn't about extraterrestrial presence on the planet. It's about us. That's the big secret. Who we are, how we came to be, and where we're going. That is the real essence of this whole thing. And so it is so vast and so earth-shaking in its implications that I not understand why the government can't release it. Not even a little bit, at least for now. The human race has some growing up to do. And we're slow learners. Sadly enough. there's going to be a lot of lives lost and a lot of bloodshed before we finally
Mm.
get our act together.
That's true. That is so true.
There is some sort of faster than light travel from this particular field.
Yo, what he was just saying is crazy. He said it's really about us and who we are, how we came to be, and where we're going. Remember those three things, y'all, because that's what's key, okay? And like he said, they put it in movies all the time, you know, like Guardians of the Galaxy. You got all these ETs. They're all humanoid. Ain't that right, Jace? Ain't that right, big boy? So yeah, guys, these are some of the most creepy and woke TikToks that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and until next time, YouTube, peace!